Thank you, Zoom. Zoom just told me I was not mute. That it was unmuted.
I was just going to tell you.
All right, welcome to day 4 of our 30-day social media marketing challenge. And I have another beautiful, lovely topic for you today. You're going to so love me. I know it. I just know it. Yeah. But it is something that we need to get into our minds and hearts so that we set ourselves up for success on social media. All right. And here is the thing. And take this with all the love that I have in me to give to you today. Here's the question, the thing I want to make clear to us is that we need to stop chasing likes and start pursuing connection. And lo and behold, once you know that Ma's video yesterday was talking, was it yesterday? I don't know when I watched it yesterday, I'm pretty sure, was on not seeking not seeking out, appreciation from people, right? People, saying I like you or complimenting, that kind of thing, right? Not seeking it from people, or not that you don't, yeah, we're gonna stick to that. And we're supposed to go to the Lord God for all our love factors, right? And he's the number one. And then, of course, he brings key people into our lives. But the reason I say this is because when we don't get all the engagement on our content, we think we're doing something wrong. We think we're saying something bad, or and we take it even more personal than that. We think that we are wrong, we are bad, we are not likable. And here's the thing, that could not be further from the truth. And I'm going to share my story about how that even thing, because I'm not throwing stones at you. I'm telling you, I'm teaching you my own personal experience. And so this is something that I myself went through. And I'm so grateful that the Lord took me to a point where I stopped looking at the likes and all, the engagement as a measure of self-worth. Oh, did I just stomp on someone's toes just now?
Preach it, sister.
Right? That's what we do. We're looking at what people say, how they treat us, as a way to measure our own personal worth. And that's why a lot of people that are resistant or repelled from coming on social media, because if they don't get it, guess what? They feel a certain way. And that's one of the issues, big major issues that many people are faced with right now, especially our younger generation, where they're looking at other people as a measuring stick of whether they're worthy or not. And I'm here to say,
you're going
no matter if someone likes your post or not, does not credit that you're worthy. You're worthy, okay? You are worthy. The Lord God says you are. He says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes, he defines who you are, who he created you to be, what he has created you to do. And so my encouragement to you is to not look at other people as your measure. If you get nothing out of this, take that to the bank, because that is something you can take, not just for social media, for life, in every area of your life, okay? And so I wanted to speak into this. Well, what we need to be focusing on is pursuing connection instead. Pursuing connection. Okay? Okay. All right, we'll talk about that later in the VIP. But yes, so let me know in the comments if this is hitting home with you. If this is a hard reality for you, let me know in the comments. I can relate. And so I'm going to share, because when I share on day 1, how I got started in the whole social media marketing journey, is that the Lord first prompt was keep pressing upon me, putting people in my influence training that I was doing to come on social media to do live video. And I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. But he keep pressing upon me. And yes, he's the only one that matters into that. And so I said yes. And I did the video. I wrote everything out, scripted it, write it out, put it right beside my computer, and it literally, for the most part, read that word for word. And then I was like, whew, okay, that's over. Thank God I'm not doing it again to maybe a next week or some random time. And God is like, no, you're doing it again. And so when I got in, so I did that, got in a challenge. Someone invited me to a challenge. I took it, went do back-to-back challenges. And of course, we're all in the community together. So we're all supporting each other and encouraging each other. So we're watching each other's posts, we're liking each other's posts, commenting. And of course, that could get to your head, right? You start to see all the engagement, the likes and comments, and you're like, yeah, I'm doing something good. I'm rocking it. I'm all of that and a bag of chips, right? And then when the challenge is over and you're just posting regularly now, and the crickets start to come and the engagement starts to decrease, you're like, okay. And so I got to a point where it was like, I didn't even think anyone was watching me. Because I went from having people on my live videos, I can see their eyeballs and the numbers, right? Not their physical eyeballs, that little eyeball icon on Facebook, and the number of people watching me. And I would be like, yeah, and it boosts you, right? And then I went from that to not having people watching me live. And I'd be like thinking, no one is watching my content. No one's getting any value from my content. I'm stuck. All this, blah, 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 blah. And then multiple times this happened to me. One day I was at my cousin's baby dedication or baby shower or something, and one of my other cousins came up to me and said that her daughter watches my content, and I'm like, what? I don't see her comment. I don't see her liking my thing. I never think. I'm like, oh, okay. So that just it shook me a little bit. And then another person will come to me and says, I really like your videos and this. And I'm like, but I never saw you engage in well, I didn't this out loud, but in my head I was thinking, but I've never seen you engage. So my measure was they didn't engage, so they're not watching my content. And wrong, right? Those are what we call, when we're looking at for likes and comments, that's what we call in the marketing space, vanity metrics. Vanity metrics. What we want to actually encourage and look for, and not as a measure, but to encourage more is comments, for people to actually engage in the comment section with your content, to ask questions, to even challenge what you're saying. Not everyone that you're speaking to should need to agree with you. If you're thinking that everyone needs to agree with what you're saying, what should I tell them, Papa? I don't know what to say to you, but I would say no. That's not the world that we live in. Someone is going to object to something you said. For instance, instantly, not like thinking anything of it, I didn't know this guy personally or anything, but through someone else, I heard about his death. I saw it actually first on social media. I didn't really pay attention, but then a close friend of mine was telling me about him. She engaged in his content, so she really liked his content. She didn't agree with everything he said, but a good chunk of what he said, she validated. And he's a Christian conservative, so his team, using what aspect of what happened to him and just expanding on it as a way of connecting Jesus with the message, right? So not really the focus wasn't really on him, but just using that as an example. And I got some backlash with that. One was a very close friend of mine, had a very negative opinion of him. The other one is someone I acquainted with that we were in another group together. And so I found it very interesting, and I didn't attack them. I didn't go back and attack them. I was curious. I would say, okay, all right, I hear what you're saying, but why do you think that? Or why do you believe that? So I engaged them in conversation versus just to say, hey, you're wrong. You're saying, why you're saying this? Like, no, I engage them in conversation. That's interesting. Why do you say that? And that's what we want to encourage. Even if someone is saying something that is completely opposite to what you're thinking or what you're believing, we want to encourage conversations. That makes sense. Can you see the value in that versus what usually happens where people are fighting, like knocking heads, right? And someone disagrees with you, you're like, think immediately that you're supposed to butt heads. No, that's not the case. Because not everyone agreed with Jesus. So if not everyone can agree with Jesus, what makes we think that everyone's going to agree with us? So this is an important thing when you're starting to do more videos and you're getting more doing posts on social media. I want you to not to look at the vanity metric of likes and hearts and all of that as a measure of the worth of you or your content. I will give you, however, ways of how to go about sitting with the Lord, structuring your content that your focus on is adding value, but you don't get to determine how people engage with it. Does that make sense? Yes, yes? Everyone follow me? Okay, I see that nod. I see that smile. Good. Yes, okay. Just making sure, just making sure. All right, because I know this might hit hard for some people to when it comes to this subject matter of, life. Because we have a need. God created us that way. But who should we first and foremost go to feel liked and appreciated by? Our creator, our Abba. Okay? That is, of course, if you recognize him as your Abba. But we won't go down the other trail of what that could, if you don't recognize
Oh, you froze,
him
Kilia.
as Abba. But if you do, he's your key. You gotta love
Oh,
social. You
you're
gotta love.
freezing.
Oh, uh, okay.
There you
Am I back? All right. Thank you, Monica. See, I have my monitor, Monica, helping me to make sure that I know when I'm frozen or any stuff like that. So thank you, Monica. All right. So given that conversation, now let's talk about how to use your your platform to actually do two things. This may sound contrary, but this is actually what you want to do. You want to attract and you want to repel people. What? You mean I don't want to attract everybody? No, no. Jesus didn't want to attract everyone. He came for everyone, but he didn't come to attract everyone. No, you want to attract the right fit people and you want to repel those that are not a right fit person for you. All right. And so my question to you is your profile and post attracting or repelling people? Are you seeking to just attract people? Or maybe you could be on the flip side and you're like, I just want to repel people away from me. Because if you're a social, you're an introvert, like no, you're looking at me like I have two horns. No, you might want to stay behind the scenes and not be seen. But thank God for God who propels us to do things, right? No, so you want to have the two factors. You want to attract and repel. But what is your profile saying to people right now? If I was to go on your social media page right now, what will your profile tell me? What would your cover picture tell me? What will your profile picture tell me? What will your bio tell me? What will be, I know on different platforms they have different things, but Facebook has a whole sidebar with different that you can add there. YouTube has a video that you can put as your premium video that stands to the top of your YouTube channel and so forth. Each platform has their own different things, but what would your profile tell me about you? Would it declare to me what you stand for and what you believe in?
go.
Would it tell me what you Will it tell me what you're called to do, what you feel your purpose is in this season? Will it tell me any of that? And what about your post? What about your post? Are they giving any insights at all to anyone that comes on your page, your news feed, about your beliefs, your principles, your what you're doing, what you're called to do in this season? The value that you can add to someone. Does it tell me any of that? Many times, this is actually how what I look at when people send me friend requests. Before I accept any friend request, I go on that person's profile and I see if there's anything on their profile that I feel compelled that I can engage with, that I feel is a mesh that is alignment with where I'm at right now. And if I can't find anything, guess what? I don't accept that friend request. Guess what happens if the reverse for you, if someone's doing that to you, if they're coming on your page and they have a certain, standard of the type of people that they want to have connections with. If your page doesn't look like someone that they can actually connect with and have conversations with, then they most likely won't. And we're going to talk more about that, how you can really set things up to build connection, to be focused on building connection. It's not about just building numbers, right? It's not just about building numbers. We're not here to just collect numbers of friends, quote unquote friends or quote unquote followers. No, we want to actually generate true connections, because those connections can lead to really meaningful relationships now and for long term or for a season. Who knows? God knows, right? So today's assignment for you today is going to be to do an audit. So outside, of course, doing your live videos, right? That's a given. I just want you to take time to look at your social media presence. You can choose one platform. What's the key platform that you are on the most or that you prefer the most? And I want you to conduct an audit, and I want you to look out for 4 key things. So if you're taking notes, this will be a very good time to take notes, because I'm not using slides. So you have to listen and pay attention. So the first one I want you to do is social listening. What does that mean, Kelia? Well, here's 2 questions to ask yourself. Are you building a reputation of someone who cares what people have to say? Let me ask that again. Are you building a reputation of someone who cares what people have to say? Are you asking?
Oh,
Oops.
that's okay. I'm not sure if
There
we
we go.
missed
I was
something. Do you
frozen
care
in
about
a
what
moment
people
of
say?
time.
What's next? I think we might be missing something.
So what they have to say, not what they say, what they have to say. Because you're listening, you're socially listening to what people are saying. That's the key. You're socially listening to what people are saying. So I want to know, are you the type of person who's building a reputation of someone who cares what people have to say? What are they talking about? Are you asking people to engage with your content, and are you engaging back with them? So let me show you what that's, illustrate what this looks like. So you can, it could be a written post, a video, doesn't matter. And you're asking a question, you're asking some people to maybe, hey, let you know, does this resonate with you? Or what was your key takeaway from what I shared? And then when they comment, are you ghosting them or are you answering them back? Say, hey, good. That was a good comment. And replying back to the comments and not just saying. So that's what I mean by social listening. You're looking out for people to actually that are speaking and saying something on your social media platform, and then you're engaging back with them. So put a 1 if you got that in the chat. Let me know. Put a 1 if you got social listening, if you understand what to do when it comes to social listening. Put a 1 in the chat if you got that.
Well,
awesome.
I have
Rhonda,
a question. So social listening happens when people, they have to first engage or write something back to you. Otherwise, you don't know what they're saying, right?
So yeah, if you put a post out on social media and someone says, and it could be anything, it could be simply saying, hey, Monica, and you can go back and say, hey, how are you today? So don't just leave it at that, or what was a highlight for you from what I said? So it could be that. So don't take it beyond just the generic. I know some people, especially when it's a Christmas post or a birthday post, right? When people say, happy Merry Christmas or happy birthday, whatever, don't just leave it at that. You can say, hey, thank you for the happy birthday. What is going on in your life? Like, when was your birthday? Did I miss your birthday?
Yeah, I do that. So that's what I did with the post, I guess yesterday's post. I commented back according to what they had written.
Good. That is what I mean, right? So you're engaging back and forth. You're not just letting people, leaving them hanging, so to speak. Okay. And you go beyond just the going deeper into the conversation or inviting deeper conversations. Let's put it that way. You want to think about it if you want to invite deeper conversations with people that are actually commenting on your stuff. And even when you comment on their stuff. Okay. So that's number 1. The second one is social influencing. Social influencing. Are you influencing people in a positive, uplifting way? Are you adding value lives? So are you influencing people in a positive and uplifting way, or are you adding value to their lives? So that's what social influence is someone who's intentionally influencing people, and influencing could go either way, but we are, of course, kingdom-minded people, right? So we're influencing people positively, right? Say positive. You're focusing on influencing people positively. So drop a 2 in the chat, in the comments, if you get and understand social influencing. All right, positive. I see that, Rhonda. 2, awesome. So that's what you want to look out for. So, so that's the second one. Number 3 is social networking. Social networking. And the question I have for you is, are you intentionally meeting and connecting with people and even brands on social media platforms? And not just random brands that may be aligned with your values, right? Specific brands that could be aligned with your value. You can connect with them on social media, because many brands are on social media. So let me ask that question again. Are you intentionally meeting and connecting with people and even brands on your social media platforms? A way this can look like is, I did a post celebrating when I got my certification through digital marketer. And when I put that post out there, I tagged digital marketer because I like their marketing. I like their training. I like how their marketing is relationship based. So their training is completely that. They market that way, they train that way. And so that's why I was proud of that. I was celebrating that moment. And I also think, so that's, you can be engaging. You can mention a brand. And guess what that also does for you in your social media? This is a strategy to pay attention. When you're mentioning that brand, now anyone that is searching for a digital marketer for their content potentially has the opportunity to come across that same very post, as long as that post is public to the view, okay? And what also is that any people, so the people that follow that brand, right? Especially if they have a makeup of your ideal client, they have an opportunity to see, yeah, hey, this is someone that is recognizing this brand or giving a shout out to this brand, and they could potentially want to connect with you. Do you guys see the correlation with that? Is that clear? So when you mention someone, all of a sudden now that post, well, yes, okay, Rhonda says yes. That post now is searchable for that keyword of that brand. And so if anyone is searching up for that brand, if your post is a public post, it has the potential. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, because the potential, because there may be a whole lot of other posts that come up with, that tag, it makes it your post potentially visible to other people that follow that same brand. And so that brand can have, I don't know, 100,000 people, 2,000, a million plus people. And that potential could go anywhere. Okay. And so that could potentially give you more exposure. That's what I'm saying. It can give you more exposure and in essence, more influence on social media. So put a 3 in comments if you get social media. I'm frozen again. And these 4 things that I'm talking to you about, guess where I got them from? My training inside of Digital Marketer. These are 4 things that they use to help you, that they advise you to look for when you're doing a social media audit. Okay. The questions I came up with to help you to actually reflect and to see them, those questions came from me, but those 4 key aspects are from Digital Marketer. Okay. So the last key one is social selling. Before you close your eyes and plug your ears, because I said the word selling, listen to what I have to say. Because I know some people have an aversion to selling or the act of selling. But here is what I want to highlight for you. My question to you is, do you have a system in place to connect with people beyond the social media platform so that you can do what? Serve them on a deeper level. Serve. You're not here to manipulate someone into buying something that they don't want, need, or have a use for. No. You're here to serve a need that they have expressed. And so that's what social selling is, how I view social selling. Let me put it that way. I don't know how other people may view it, but Kelia Holder views social selling as looking to see how I can fill a need someone has with what I do. Okay? And so you want to ask yourself, do you actually have a system in place to do that? Because the social media platforms that we use, they don't belong to us. That social media platform could shut down tomorrow, and all those people that you have connected with on that platform disappear. And so you want to be able to have a place that you own, that you will rent or pay for, because you're essentially still in a way, we don't own the CRMs that we use, but we rent them, we pay for them, and so they become ours. We own them as for that purpose of using them, and so that we have a way then we can continue connecting with them. But that does not discontinue the use and purpose of social media, okay? Of the platforms themselves. So let me know in the comments, drop a 4 if you understand social selling. And if you have a question, please, by all means, let me know that as well. So drop a 4 if that was clear, if you understand what I meant with social selling. I did a whole training on this one time when I was doing my social media training. Okay, that's okay, Rhonda. Thank you for letting me know. All right. So that's what I want you to do. So I want you to view your social media profile at least one profile and audit your profile and your at least 10 posts. Audit the first 10 posts on your profile for these 4 key things: social listening, social influencing, social networking, and social selling. And are you doing any of those? And if not, where can you start? Don't seek to overwhelm yourself with trying to get all 4 in place right now, what is one you can start with? What is one that you can start with? And focus in on that, okay? So that is your action steps for today. Any questions, anyone, before we sign off today? Because that is our training for today. So anyone has any questions?
Yeah. Now, in this 30-day challenge, did I not hear you say, was it yesterday, not to be promoting what we do or selling anything?
There's ways you can promote and share what you do without actually asking people to buy something. And we are going to learn strategies on how to do that. But I'm not asking you to do that. Social selling here is you are asking, and we're going to cover this tomorrow when we talk about connecting with people, is that you are listening and seeking to see where's the need. And it doesn't, you're filling the need doesn't have to be a paid offer, by the way. Let me make that clear. It doesn't need to be an exchange of money per se. It can be an exchange of a resource. But yes, there's opportunities that are going to present themselves where they will be an exchange of money, because we are in a business tree, right? We're here to make money as a business owner and minister to people. Do both, not one and not the other. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions? Awesome. All right. So for those that are watching and attending this challenge live on our YouTube, and I'm going to transfer these videos on Facebook too as well. If you're watching this on our social media platform and you have not officially signed up and we're still doing the challenge, which we are right now, I encourage you go ahead and do that so that you can also get our playbook, our authentic sales playbook, and you can get daily reminders and daily emails with the replay link. So it's easy for you to just go directly to the video for that day to rewatch it. And I'm also organizing these in a playlist. So by the end of this, you'll have everything under one playlist. So you can always go back to it and rewatch these as often as you need to. All right. So that you can really capture what we're doing. So every day we're sharing a nugget and an action step for you. And our trainings are short and sweet and to the point. 30 minutes is how much we want to come on here for. And so that you can spend more time actually being on the platforms, engaging intentionally on the platform so that you can grow your influence and your audience in a way that is going to serve you and them. All right. We're and people. We are not one or the other. We're both. Okay. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you show up tomorrow. I'm going to show you a very creative way of how you can use Facebook as a CRM. What? Yeah. All right. So thank you for tuning in. We will see you soon. We are going to be going backstage now for our VIP session. And if you want to join us for VIP and get coaching, direct coaching, then I encourage you to sign up for our VIP offer for that. So till then, take care.